What's up, everyone? It's Mohammed, your commissioner. Welcome to another weekly recap. Let's get the ball rolling here and enjoy. Let's see what happened this week in FLoSH. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another recap of FLoSH, the one right before our huge playoff week coming up. We've got a huge game tonight. We've got the 49ers, we got the Rams, we've got some players on both sides that are fantasy relevant going at it tonight to kick off our playoff season. Before we get into a quick recap of Week 14, let me just do a reminder on the payments. First place is winning $560. Second place, $255. Third place, $130. And then we had our weekly payouts of $15 to our highest score of the week. Those are all done. I don't want that going into playoffs just because that's going to encourage people to pick players up off the waiver wire, and that things just get hairy on that in that case. We do have a third place matchup as well, getting their money back, and then a little bit more. So what's not listed here is our winner for most points. I realize I did not factor that into this season. So I ended up paying Mike Strumpfler a certain amount of money. Took a little bit from my own personal just to get him paid. Definitely an oversight on the commissioner. I will hone in on that next season. But nonetheless, here's a quick reminder of our payouts. And then going into playoffs, just me mentally, when I go into these situations, because I'm here a lot, you know what I mean? I like to think about what potential players are eliminated from playoffs that I don't have to worry about, that I don't have to play. When you think about it this way, you have 6 teams eliminated. Those are 6 teams that might potentially have some loaded guys that you don't have to run up to, come playoff time. Here, just a quick snippet of the top 20 wide receivers that are not going to be in playoffs this year. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who put up the 3rd most fantasy points in a PPR format. Next, we have Jerry Jeudy, who stunned a lot of people. He's put up some seriously good play down the stretch. Tyreek Hill, who may have let some managers down this year. Not necessarily him, just kind of the Tua injury, putting a stop to him this year. And then Jaden Reed, who fucked some people over on the last week. So not too much, not too many players eliminated on the wide receiver side of things. And some honorable mentions. Puka's not going to be in here, who's heating up right now. Ladd McConkey, who's also heating up. Nico Collins and Mike Evans, who were forces, they're game changers, and they're not going to be in playoffs this year. So you don't have to worry about these guys with the X. Looking at the running back position, though, we see a lot of running backs going down, notably Jahmyr Gibbs and Devon Achane, who Martin actually had both of them. So thank you, Martin. We don't need to worry about these two guys in the finals. We've got Bijan, who the Young Ho had, who is now out. Josh Jacobs from Zach Munsky's team. James Cook from Dirty Mike's team. And then Aaron Jones and Tony Pollard from Team Skiz. Honorable mentions who are not going to be in playoffs. Rashid White, Tyrone Tracy Jr., and Jonathan Taylor. So we've got some good running backs who are not going to be in our playoffs this season. So, I don't know, that kind of helps me get a feeling for my team. I only did running back and wide receivers because, tight ends, they've been hit or miss this season. Quarterbacks, kind of the same thing. It's really these two positions that have been the difference this season. All right, we'll do a quick recap, and then we'll do a look ahead to our playoff matchups. Week 14 was a week of heartbreak for many people, and it starts with the Young Ho. Losing by 2 points in what would be a crucial win for the Young Ho. I believe that would have put him into the playoff situation. Mike Strumpfler, the Joe Burrow show goes on. He's going to be looking good going into playoffs. Saquon Barkley, so's Kyron. These two have been carrying you all season. They continue to do their thing. And then George Kittle as well. I believe he's the tight end one. If not him, it's probably Brock Bowers. But those two have been having a very productive season. And really good bench help. You've got Jawan Jennings, who was one of those top 20 wide receivers, and then you've also got Brian Thomas on your bench. That is crazy that you have 2 top 20 wide receivers on your bench, and you're still winning, still doing your thing. Just a good deep team in terms of running back and wide receivers. For the Young Ho, his season comes to an end on the back of Ladd McConkey. Not sure. Like, he could have literally put anyone in. Like, anyone. Like, he could have just I don't know. That was weird. That was a weird situation. He was ruled out a little bit late, but that ultimately cost you. Tyrone Tracy, one of our honorable mentions, who will not be in playoffs, is out, and so is Bijan Robinson. Davis, great season, just kind of came up short at the end by 2 points. The next matchup, an absolute battle between Simone and Brian Verbickus, who clinches first in the West and clinches first in the league with the best record, winning by a measly 5 points, coming off a huge Sam Darnold game, a massive Zach Charbonnet game. I saw that pick up literally last minute. I was going to grab him, and you fucking grabbed him before me. And a massive, massive game by Justin Jefferson. Those 4 alone got it done for you. Even with a Brock Bowers bad game, you still came up with 150 points. For Simone, great attempt. I believe you're still in playoffs, just based off of 0.4. But your team's looking scary going into playoffs. You got Jared Goff, who's doing okay, but you've got the Chuba Hubbard, the Jamar Chase, the Cooper Kupp. Those guys are PPR nightmares. They are getting receptions. Chuba's running efficiently, scoring touchdowns, and Garrett Wilson as well. That is a very, very stacked roster going into playoffs, and I wish both of you the best of luck in playoffs. Brian, enjoy your first round bye. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have been on an absolute tear recently, taking down Dirty Mike, putting up a measly 69 points. Not much to highlight on Dirty Mike's side. No more James Cook. I guess he was kind of been on and off this whole season, but no Mike Evans in playoffs. 2 honorable mentions going down. Christian Ward, his team is heating up at the right time, having to start Ray Davis due to a bye week. The Henry Jackson show. I knew I was missing something. He still comes away with 130 points. No problem there. The help of CeeDee Lamb, JSN, Trey McBride all doing their thing, and Chase Brown being a great late-round pickup this year. Congrats, Christian. Good luck in playoffs. The ass-whooping of the week goes to... Yeah, it's got to be this one. You beat him by almost 100. Zach Baldwin going down. His team not even giving him a chance to make playoffs. Goes down to Zach Munski, who I don't think made playoffs just because of points for, and his team popped the hell off. Rachaad White, Tua, Josh Jacobs, everyone did the best they possibly could. Even Puka putting up 41 points. Man, Zach Baldwin, just uninspiring stuff from his team across the board. Jalen Hurts might have been his most consistent player all season. Kenneth Walker with a late injury in the week, and that just cost you. Tough season for Baldwin here. He fought, and it did not work out in the end. We've got a match that Team Skiz runs away with a win on Martin when he needed it the absolute most. Team Skiz, wow. I also noticed he picked up Isaac Guerrero when he was statistically eliminated from playoffs. I mean, that's fantasy. Can't blame Isaac Guerrero here, Martin. Skiz just kind of got the upper hand on you. Coming off great performances from his running backs, even with a 0 piece from Jaden Reed. But Devonta Adams really, really, really popped off for managers week 14 there. And Isaac Guerrero on the bench. Man, I would have loved to have him, Skiz. For Martin Peace, season comes to an end, coming off 2 great performances from his running back, but depth was always the issue for Martin. Beginning of the season, it was always going to be a problem, and it shows. Debo and T. Higgins letting them down here, lost some crucial matches down the stretch there, and that's the end of that season. Regardless, good season, Martin. Good season, Skiz. And in an absolutely crucial matchup for Tom Agan, he takes the win, coming off 51 points from Josh Allen, a new fantasy record, the most points scored by a quarterback ever. Took him to the promised land, put him in a playoffs. He was in a really sticky spot if he lost this game, and really not much else coming from the team. 13 points from Tank Bigsby. That was his second highest performer, but it's really just Josh Allen who did it all. It's shocking when you add up 51 and 13 and you somehow come up to 101 based off these numbers. I couldn't tell you how that happens, but the bad neighbors, really, the Bucky Irving injury took us out of this one. Everyone else, they did their thing. It didn't matter for me. What can you do, When you're good, you're good. Just kidding. Now, on to our standings and where the fuck is the playoffs? Where's the playoffs? Oh my god. I'm running out of time. Playoff bracket. Who do we have? The first round buys were given to the Bad Neighbors and Farm D's Nuts. Tom Agan and Christian Ward will battle it out, and so will Simone and Mike Strumpfler. Looking ahead to this matchup, the boys have already set their lineups. Looking like a close one here between Mike and Simone. Got some advantages going towards Mike's way, got some advantages going towards Simone's way. The line is at 2. Feel free to bet, boys. I see a lot of value in Simone at +2. Just say it. The next matchup we have is Tom Agan versus Christian Ward. Tommy, I don't know if Tom set his lineup yet. Just, make sure you set your lineup. Being projected 104 is pretty scary going in a playoff match against someone who clearly has the advantage in every column and is projected to win by 32. Wow. Talk about fantasy football. Okay, that is it. I will keep the scores and the money here. Let's have a great playoff week here. Good luck, everyone competing in week 1. It's been a pleasure recapping everyone else. And stay tuned next week for our playoff recap. Bye-bye.